Remember the Kyle family? They made you laugh every night on My Wife and Kids, a hilarious and heartwarming comedy series. But after the show ended, what happened to the real-life actors will shock you. One became a millionaire, another disappeared without a trace, and the third, sadly, passed away in 2025 without you even knowing. Let's explore the stories behind the laughter and celebrate the legacy it leaves behind. Tisha Campbell Martin y Janet J. Kyle. Tisha Campbell Martin was born on October 13, 1968, in Oklahoma City, USA. At the age of 33, she played Janet J. Kyle, an intelligent and insightful wife who always showed affection for her family. This role made millions of viewers love her as a symbol of vitality and love. Unfortunately, the woman who brought so much joy had to live amidst tears for many years. Before My Wife and Kids, Tisha went through a psychological nightmare on the sitcom Martin. She was sexually harassed by her co-stars, forced to leave the show, and faced a scandal at the height of her fame. This wound haunted her for years. When she married Dwayne Martin, she believed she had found peace, but 22 years of marriage left them burdened with debt and suffering. They went bankrupt with a debt of $15 million, had to sell everything, and Tisha was left alone to raise her autistic son. In the following years, Tisha often cried when talking about life as a single mother. She admits to having spent countless sleepless nights worrying about her son and wondering how she would get through the next day. The stress caused her to lose weight, hair, and hope, but she picked herself up, returned to television with the show Dr. Ken, and used her voice to advocate for autistic children. Motherhood rescued Tisha from despair, transforming her into a symbol of resilience and compassion. Today, at 57 years old, Tisha Campbell Martin continues working, singing, and developing small projects. Her net worth is estimated at around $700,000, a modest amount compared to her former fame. But she has recovered something far more valuable: peace of mind. Damon Wayans as Michael Kyle. Damon Wayans was born on September 4, 1960, in New York City, USA. At age 41, he played Michael Kyle, a strict yet loving father, in the film My Wife and Kids, 2001. With a witty smile and a sincere look, Damon portrayed a man trying to keep his family together despite the ups and downs. But behind those laughs lay a life far more tragic than what was shown on screen. His 16-year marriage to Lisa Thorne was Damon's proudest moment, but it crumbled shortly before the release of My Wife and Kids. At the height of his career, he lost the woman who had supported him through hardship and poverty. The divorce left him emotionally exhausted and lonely under the spotlight. Work pressure and family turmoil plunged Damon into periods of depression. In addition to emotional pain, Damon also had to deal with physical pain. Chronic arthritis in his hip had plagued him for years, making walking painful and sleepless nights unbearable. Even so, he smiled on stage, determined to leave behind the image of a strong father figure, beloved by his audience. This passion helped him overcome his most difficult days. Damon Wayans is now 65 years old. He rarely appears in public, lives quietly with his son, Damon Wayans Jr., and dedicates his time to writing and producing the comedy series Papa's House. His estimated net worth is $35 million, which is not just a sum of money, but the result of a lifetime of perseverance. Ella, Joyce, Zagra, Jasmine, Scott. Ella Joyce was born on June 12, 1954, in Chicago, USA. She was 47 years old when she played Jasmine Scott in the series My Wife and Kids, 2001, a strong, straightforward, and kind neighbor. In the third season, she portrayed a mature and experienced woman, full of kindness, but without a sharp sense of humor. However, behind this apparent calm lies a long life of struggles and fear of failure. Her long marriage to actor Dan Martin seems like a safe haven, but the disparity in their fame often plunges Ella into emotional turmoil. With each new project, she feels guilty, fearing that her husband will be overshadowed. This silent conflict led her to isolate herself, limit her social interactions, and gradually lose confidence in her career. After the series Rock, 1991 to 1994, which earned her an NAACP Image Award, Ella entered a period of deep sadness, spent years without a leading role, and plunged into depression. She frequently couldn't sleep at night and resorted to sedatives to maintain her sanity. The wounds from her marriage affected her career. Once a highly sought-after television star, Ella isolated herself, using motivational speeches as a form of self-medication. For years, she underwent psychological treatment for chronic anxiety caused by the constant pressure of balancing the roles of wife and artist. These life upheavals deprived her of the chance to star in films like Desperation, 1996, and Bubba Hotep, 2002. In 2025, at 71 years old, Ella Joyce remains herself, calm, stable, and yet proud. She rarely appears in public, focusing mainly on writing, mentoring in theater, and sharing her story of struggle with depression. His net worth is around $2 million, which isn't a huge amount, but enough for a comfortable life after a turbulent half-century. Megan Good, Vanessa Scott. Megan Good was born on August 8, 1981, in Panorama City, California, USA. She was 20 years old when she played Vanessa Jr.'s beautiful and impulsive girlfriend in the film My Wife and Kids, 2001. Although the role was brief, it made a strong impression and launched the ambitious young actress into a promising film career. However, Megan's real life was more painful than what she experienced on screen. After years of fame for her sensual image, Megan faced harsh criticism from the public and the media. Her marriage to producer and pastor Devon Franklin seemed like a Hollywood fairy tale. But behind the radiant smiles on the red carpet, there were long nights of tears. The pressure to maintain the image of a pious wife gradually began to affect her. Religious and lifestyle differences eventually led to divorce in 2022. After 10 years of marriage, the shock of the divorce caused Megan to lose a lot of weight and undergo treatment for chronic insomnia. Her career also suffered when producers hesitated to cast her, believing that her parish woman image no longer suited glamorous roles. However, Megan excelled, making a strong comeback in Think Like a Man, 2012, and Anchorman 2, 2013, proving that she didn't need a man to shine. Now, at 44, Megan Good has remarried to actor Jonathan Majors after a long journey in search of happiness. He continues to act, produce, and manage his own company, with an estimated net worth of $5 million. Jennifer Freeman Claire Kyle. Jennifer Freeman was born on October 20, 1985, in Long Beach, California, USA. She was only 16 years old when she played Claire, the beautiful, rebellious, and beloved teenage daughter in the television series My Wife and Kids, from the 2nd to the 5th season, 2001. This role transformed her into a rising star, beloved throughout America, but also marked the beginning of years of stress and loss that Jennifer had to face after leaving the spotlight. When fame came too early, Jennifer didn't learn to handle the pressure. She replaced Jazz Ray Cole amidst great controversy, constantly followed by paparazzi and criticized for her appearance and personal life. The stress led to insomnia, loss of appetite, and frequent panic attacks, even when she forced herself to smile for the cameras. Her marriage in 2009 to basketball player Earl Watson seemed like an escape from Hollywood, but it quickly turned into a tumultuous conflict. Disagreements about career and raising children turned their home into a battleground. The stress of the marriage led to mild depression, and Jennifer needed to take a long break from her acting career to recover. The cost of these problems led to the decline of her career. After the initial success of the films You Got Served, 2004, and Johnson Family Vacation, 2004, Jennifer couldn't keep up the pace. She accepted smaller roles and eventually disappeared quietly from Hollywood. Her divorce in 2015 devastated her financially and emotionally, mainly due to the long custody battle for her daughter, which forced her to work non-stop to cover legal fees and basic living expenses. Today, Jennifer Freeman is 40 years old. She lives with her daughter, Isabella, and is slowly returning to television, participating in smaller projects such as The Black Hamptons and Blended Christmas. Although her net worth is estimated at only $500,000, Jennifer finds peace in a simple life, spending most of her time writing books about self-esteem and the path to self-love. Damon Wayans Jr., Bad John. Damon Wayans Jr. was born on November 18, 1982, in Huntington, USA. At 19, he played the funny and somewhat eccentric best friend John Jr. in the film My Wife and Kids, 2001. At the time, he was both a newcomer trying to find his place in Hollywood and the son of legendary comedian Damon Wayans Sr. Behind his smile and youthful energy, Damon Jr. hid the pain of constant comparisons to his father. The feeling of never being good enough often plunged him into emotional turmoil. Whenever a project fell through, he faced cruel comments about his existence being based solely on the Wayans name. This uncertainty affected his personal life. Although he married Samara Saraiva in 2016 and has children, he had gone through a painful separation, after which he fought for custody of his 2 daughters. The long legal battle wore him down deeply, causing sleepless nights and therapy sessions as he dealt with his fears of fame and fatherhood. Emotional exhaustion often forced him to abandon his acting career, but Damon Jr. channeled that pain into purpose. He made a triumphant return with Happy Endings, 2011 to 2013, earning Critics' Choice and NAACP Image Award nominations, followed by Let's Be Cops, 2014, solidifying his status as a talented actor. At 43 years old, Damon Wayans Jr. has emerged from years of struggle as a wiser and more balanced man. Currently, he works with his father on the comedy series Papa's House as an actor and screenwriter. His net worth is estimated at $9 million, the result of a lifetime of hard work and determination to prove his worth. Brooklyn Sudano or Vanessa Scott? Brooklyn Sudano was born on January 5, 1981 in Los Angeles, USA. At age 20, she played Vanessa Scott, the charming girlfriend and later wife of Junior, in the series My Wife and Kids during seasons 4 and 5. With her gentle smile and classic Californian beauty, Brooklyn quickly won over audiences. But behind the glamour, there was an arduous path to success. It was a journey filled with pressure and a constant struggle to escape the shadow of her mother, the queen of disco, Donna Summer. As the daughter of a music legend, Brooklyn grew up in a world where people constantly compared her to her mother. Although she found happiness marrying Mike McLaughlin in 2006 and raising their daughter, the pressure to live up to the Donna Summer name never left her. Brooklyn admits that her marriage was, at times, tested by her obsession with success. Mike, an outsider in the industry, adored her simplicity, while she felt torn between the roles of wife, mother, and artist, yearning to prove her worth. Emotional stress led to chronic insomnia, so she turned to meditation and therapy to find balance. After starring in My Wife and Kids, Brooklyn tried to find her own identity acting in the films Parenthood, 2010, and Kidnapped, 2017. But many continued to call her Donna Summer's daughter. This label made her consider abandoning Hollywood altogether. While directing the documentary Love to Love You, Donna Summer, 2023, she broke down in tears during an interview, realizing she was still living in her mother's shadow, a mixture of love and fear. Confronting this truth was fundamental to her healing, allowing Brooklyn to grow and forgive herself. Today, at 44, Brooklyn Sudano still lives in Los Angeles with her husband and daughter. Although she maintains a low profile, she remains active in the industry as a director and producer. Her net worth is estimated at $3 million, derived from her film career and an inheritance from her mother. Lester Speight Calvin Scott. Lester Speight was born on August 28, 1963, in Baltimore, USA. In the film My Wife and My Children, 2001, he played Calvin Scott, a tall, cheerful, and outgoing 38-year-old neighbor. His character is always hilarious, but Lester's real life is a story written in blood, sweat, and tears. His secret marriage was his only support after a series of failures in sports and acting. However, financial instability and professional pressures began to erode that bond. Often away from home, he accepted small, poorly paid jobs just to survive while his wife and children waited for him in solitude. Years later, Lester admitted that the end of his marriage left him withdrawn and irritable, without any desire to find love. The divorce left him lost, and in the years that followed, he plunged into alcoholism and isolation. The consequences of his failed marriage continued to cast a shadow over his career. After the success of the Terry Tate Office linebacker commercial and his role as Augustus Cole in the 2006 film Gears of War, Lester began turning down major offers for health reasons. Despite a deep fear of failure before each performance, he needed to take painkillers just to endure the effort of going on stage. Doctors warned him that if he continued to overexert himself, he could permanently lose the ability to walk. But Lester didn't give up. In 2025, at age 62, Lester Speight leads a quiet and discreet life. A knee injury limited his performances, but he still maintains his characteristic, affable smile when talking about the fans who adore him. His net worth is estimated at $3 million, modest compared to his peers, but enough to live comfortably after some turbulent years. George O'Gore, drugi zagra Michaela Juniora. George O'Gore II was born on December 15, 1982, in Fort Washington, USA. In the film My Wife and Kids, 2001, He played Michael Jr., Kyle, the awkward, somewhat silly, but lovable son of a 19-year-old girl. His character brought laughter to millions of viewers every night. But behind that youthful and cheerful appearance lay years of loneliness, pressure, and a silent inner struggle. When George emerged on the artistic scene, he was still a teenager who had never known a normal life. After his initial success in New York Undercover, 1994 to 1998, he fell into the frightening abyss that many child stars struggle with. There were no more applause, no more film crews, just a small apartment and a stifling silence. George began to lose control, taking refuge in alcohol and drugs. This pressure damaged his career. After My Wife and Children, George practically disappeared from the screen. Many directors refused to work with him, considering him mentally unstable. It was only after writing the screenplay for The Girl with the Ham, 2022, that he began to regain confidence. The stress, however, took its toll on his body, forcing him to undergo years of therapy. Today, at 43, George O'Gore II remains single, dedicating most of his time to writing and directing independent projects. He leads a simple life, far from the spotlight he once lost. His net worth is estimated to be around $2 million, which is enough for him to live a comfortable life and do what he enjoys. Noah Gray Cabey E. Franklin Aloysius Mumford. Noah Gray Cabey was born on November 16, 1995 in Chicago, USA. At just 6 years old, he played Franklin, the charming little pianist who always made audiences laugh in the film My Wife and My Children, 2001. With his bright eyes and surprisingly mature acting, Noah instantly became a Hollywood darling. But behind that angelic appearance, there was a childhood full of pressures. He began playing piano at the age of 3, performing all over the world before he even learned to read the alphabet. Having been prematurely thrust into the spotlight, his childhood was filled with long days of disciplined practice. The success of My Wife and Children led people to call him a young prodigy. But the title itself terrified Noah. He feared that everything would fall apart if it failed. After the film was finished, the pressure of maintaining a peculiar image led him to a minor crisis. He was tormented by anxiety and sleepless nights. Despite his role in the film Heroes, 2006 to 2010, Noah later admitted that he considered abandoning the entertainment world altogether to simply lead a normal life. In the years that followed, he sought solace in music, which brought him both pain and salvation. Noah began writing, performing in charity projects, and starring in films like Code Black and All American, gradually balancing his artistic side with his acting career. Currently 30 years old, Noah Gray Cabey is still single and divides his time between playing piano and acting. He prefers a quiet lifestyle, occasionally appearing in independent films and organizing benefit concerts for underprivileged children. His net worth is estimated at $2 million, modest compared to his childhood fame, but enough to live the life he always dreamed of. Peace, freedom, and music that brings him joy, not burden.